Hi, everybody. It's Jaylyn with Crafty Girl Creations, and I'm sorry I'm a couple minutes late today. I actually was going a little overboard with going, I could show them this, I could show them that. Well, I've got a few things to show you today, and I think you're really going to like them. Today, we're going to, see what is today, March 31st, Tuesday, March 31st. And as always, we are in my craft room in Cold Spring, Kentucky. So if you are from somewhere else, drop a comment in. Let me know where you're tuning in from. And I just pulled up the chat so that way I'll be able to try to keep an eye on that as well if I don't get too zoned in. But today I wanted to show you, we are going to go with the Sunflower 3D Embossing Folder. You see that? It's got all kinds of beautiful sunflowers in it. Now, this is something that I do not believe is carrying over. So, we get our new, well, I've already got it, but you can't see it. Our brand new catalog coming out on May 3rd, or sorry, Cinco de Mayo, May the 5th. So if you want one, drop me a comment, let me know so I can get you one. I've got them on order. They should be here any day now. So if you need one before, well, come May 5th, just let me know and I could actually get them to you before then. So if you really want a pre-preview, make sure to drop a comment in and let me know. So let's go ahead without further ado. I want to show you what all kinds of things you can do with this embossing folder. And grab my go ahead and grab my Stampin' Up! Emboss and cut machine here and switch over to my other camera. There we go. So I've got that ready to go here. And the first thing we're going to do is I've cut a piece of Fluid 100. It is the watercolor paper that Stampin' Up! Has. It is cold pressed. It is thicker, and it's made up of archival cotton. So this is going to, it has a lot of different features than a regular cardstock would have to help maintain shape and to be able to take up the water. So I'm going to take that first before we watercolor it. And we're going to, oops, I got to get my 3D too, because I got to take a couple things out. Because with this one, when you do a 3D, first off, make sure that the Stampin' Up! When you do a 3D, make sure that the Stampin' Up! Logo is facing you, so where you could read it. Let me put this up here a little further so you could see what I'm doing. And you're going to take your paper. I'm going to put this one in at the top. I've kind of predetermined where I want it to be. And what I do is I just look at what I have there. Yes, and that is what I want. Okay. And then you take and put your 3D plate on top of it. So slide this back for a second. And you always want to put it in with the fold, your folder fold, going in first. I made that mistake one year. Well, I've made that mistake. I only made it once. And look at this. Is that not gorgeous? Now, we'll be making a couple of those shortly, but I just want to take it one card at a time. Now, this one, I thought we would use the Pretty in Pink cardstock, and I've already cut my cardstock in half and scored it. So the piece of paper was 8.5, scored at 4 1/4 to give you a 5.5 by 4 1/4 card. And let me just score that real quick, or burnish it, just kind of make that flatter. And before we adhere it to our card, I thought we would take, and I'm a pink and purple girl, so I'm not sure quite how this is going to turn out, but I figured we're going to make it a go. I took my Petunia Pop, and I love pink, but I love purple. So I want to show you the dye technique, where you the dragging technique, where you just put your ink on there and you just color it. Sometimes it's going to take a couple tries to get it all the way you want it. See, this needs some more in this corner. There. I think that looks gorgeous. And what I can also do, let me get some paper to kind of just clean up my mess there, my ink mess. I got some water sitting over here to the side. Just kind of clean that up off. And that's why I love my glass mat. Man, I could do anything on this thing. And boom, gone just like that. And now we're going to take and we'll put this. And I wanted to also show you how you could take your Stampin' Blends. And I have pulled out Dark Old Olive because this is a leaf going through here. And I thought, well, we'll just take in, it's kind of an abstract way to do this. An abstract can be beautiful too. So there's your leaf there. And I'm going to go ahead and do my we've got leaf here, so I can come up here and kind of add some mossy meadow in there too. Just kind of give it a little extra dimension. And we have a leaf here. And I think that's all our leaf. But it just kind of, I don't know. I like the two color combination. And then you take and add this to the front of your card. And then we have our sentiments. Oh, I don't want to use Easter's on its way, but this is actually one I didn't use. So I could take and flip it over easy enough. And I figured there's a nice little sentiment on our Sunrise Sailing. Sunrise Sailing is another one that is going to be probably not going to be carried over into the new catalog. So that's like your little sea boat, and you've got your little waves, but it's got some really nice sayings on it too. So I liked this one. And we can use that mossy meadow for the words on it as well. And let's see here. There we go. Get it to where I can read it. You're destined for great things. There we go. I think I like it right there. Again, I got my dimensionals. So get that put up on top, and take your pick tool. Oops, it didn't take my paper. There we go. You are destined for great things. Set that over here. We might use that again. And then just finish it off with a little stamp and seal, or we could glue it, which I think I'm going to do because I just don't see where I put my stamp and seal. It's here somewhere. I get creating in the morning and I make a mess, and then I got to clean it up, and it's not time to do that yet. So how hard was that? Was that not just easy as pie to do? So that's card number 1. Now card number 2, this is going to be fun. I decided I want to try, let's see, I've got on crumb cake. Let's see, I just need to, let me measure my paper. I don't know if I got that cut right yet. And let's see. Make sure we got this done right. Yep, 5.5. Okay, so I did notice that it is a little long. I pulled it out and I said, "That looks right," and then score it 4.25. But it wasn't quite right. Has anybody ever worked with Stampin' Up's watercolor pencils? If you have, let me know. If I learned there are now a couple different techniques for using that, and we're going to take our embossing folder again, and I want to see how this works. I've actually not done this yet. Where did I put my embossing folder? There. Let's see. Boy, I'm losing things right and left today. Oh, since the embossing folder is the star of the show, that's not very good. You've got to be kidding me. Okay. Well, this is definitely not a good thing. Bear with me. I haven't gotten up since we started here today, so it really can't be that far away. Okay, so when that fails, you take and figure out another embossing folder. So let's just do that. I happen to have one here, and we'll use the Sunrise Sailing embossing folder. Has anybody ever done that at Christmas time, where you've actually been making all your gifts, or wrapping all your gifts, and then you lose the scissors, or you lose the tape, or something of that nature? That's exactly what I have just done, and I didn't even get up out of my chair. And now I'm stressing just to, there we go. I got to find, where they fold things up. There it is, where they fold things over, and you got to find where it opens. Oh, found it. Lord have mercy. So we are going to use a piece of beige this time. So So we'll run this through again with your number 4 plate. And I'm actually going to go ahead and run through the third one too, so just in case I lose it again. Silly me. Let's see, and we're going to do another piece of the watercolor. We'll go ahead and do 2 more. Show you how easy this is. I take and cut these into 4 1/4 by 5, or 5 1/4 by 4, and then I take the remaining piece. I had a larger sheet, and I did what is it, 2 1/2 by 3. I figured, I could use the rest of that up as sentiments. So let's go ahead and put that in there. There we go. That's one more. And as long as with the embossing folders that you remember that this folded end, the end that folds has to go in first. Very, very important. That way we'll have all these done, and if I lose it again, I won't lose it live on the air. I thought I'd have time to do that before, but I ran out of a little bit of time. Alrighty, so that's all done. So I could take this actually and set it down here, put it away in a little bit. And now we have our 3 other ones that we're going to do, but we're focusing on the beige right now, or the beige, the very vanilla, or I think, no, the basic beige. Okay, the basic beige. So the next thing I want to show you is the watercolor pencils. Currently, we have 2 sets, and you've got assortment 1 and assortment 2. On the back, it lists all the colors that they have in them. So in set 1, we've got Real Red, Calypso Coral. I'll try to give you all this, kind of put them up here where you guys can see all the different colors. And in set 1, you also have a white. That's what I want to try. I know that sounds crazy, a white watercolor pencil. But I want to show you actually 2 things. We'll set the card aside. I want to show you how you could take and you could color with these watercolor pencils. So let me just get this in here, and then I'll show it to you. Without adding the water. Or you could dip it in the water. And we'll do this one over here. And it gives you just a different, a different appearance to it. Gives you see, because if I dipped it in the water like that, then it doesn't give me the white that you could see here. And I've got a petunia pop here, and I want you just to see how that looks on a sheet of paper. Oh yeah, hold on, we just got to run this through now. That's going to be too pretty. I think I've changed my mind on my card. Yeah, that's going to be too pretty. So that's okay. I change my mind all the time. That's the womanly thing to do, is it not? And wait till you guys see this. This is going to be mind-blowing. because I know what it's going to look like now. This is going to be pretty. Sorry if you got my hair in the head in there. Oh yeah, this is going to be neat. So, and it's okay that I even did it there, and you know that's not exactly where the flower is, but you could see. And all I'm doing is tracing around and just coloring in the white on top of the purple and leaving bits of it undone. See, this is a leaf, so you've got your, if you stay on top, you're going to get all the beautiful, see, and I'm just going to take and draw that. And I kind of just go above the lines here, so I don't go, try not to color deep down in them, so that they show off and do what they're meant to. I saw a card done like this once with Night of Navy, and it was absolutely gorgeous. And it gives it that watercolor look. And see, and I'm not doing it, you know, I'm kind of just willy-nillying it. You know, nothing's set in stone. And you can make it as light or as dark as you want. Just, again, just a lighter touch. And something they showed us at which I've done and I didn't tell you about is, I don't know if you could see that. Let's see if I get my, there, where you could see how it's kind of got that flat spot. If you do that, you're going to get a better coverage. Kind of get that flat spot. So sometimes somebody will start like I did up here where I was just, you know, just coloring on the paper. Yep, there we go. And it helps to glide over these parts that you don't want to get dark if it's nice and flat like that. And then kind of come around here and kind of get in those little, now I might, just for purposes of highlight, come around that edge just to make a defined mark, so it gives some distinction. Let's see, we got, I'm trying to go quickly here too, because I mean, you guys will get the idea, but I mean, a nice completed card would be nice too. See there, I just drew that little circle around the other flower that's up here. And I'm just doing it on the leaves, the flower petals, not the leaves, the flower petals. I got another plan for the leaves. Well, not another plan, but just another color. I'm going to go ahead and use the regular green on that and see how that turns out. Now we're back to that flat. That's why it's going a lot quicker now, because of that flatness. And we're almost done with our white. It says, I am almost done. Okay, this is, There. Let me get that one. Now we've got a little bit of flour up here. We're just going to kind of highlight it again, just on the petals. And then in that same original set is the old olive. See, I didn't do that where I need to do, let me get a piece of scrap here. This is what I meant about doing your flat, or creating your flat spot. See how you get much better coverage when it's nice and flat versus when I started? Okay, so now I got my flat spot. And now when I do this, it's good to see how it makes a difference. You know, it's going to take those lines away and actually color like it's meant to. Right over top of that leaf. And look how those lines, by having that flat spot, you know, it's picking up those lines. And again, I'm going to take it kind of, oops, had my point a little too pointy. Just so you can see there's a definition. And then, let's see, down in here. There we go. Just so you got some division between the pieces. Yeah. See? That's just one way you could do it. And I thought that would be kind of pretty on a card, a beige, like the beige card. Or you could do a tone on tone. And then just have those centers. I think that's what we'll do with that one. This one has, so that's the basic black. A pecan pie. Yep, that's Calypso Coral. Oops, lost one of my tips. There it is. Pecan pie. Let me get my pencil sharpened here. Please tell me it's on, and of course it's not. I think I got a pencil sharpener here handy. And apparently I do not, but I've got another set here, so we'll just pull something. Oh, there's an early espresso in here too. Let me just pull everything out here. So, of course it is. Let's see. Because what I want to do is kind of come in here with the brown. Yeah. Kind of go for the centers here and just kind of highlight the centers. And then we'll pull the basic black out. Because if you know anything about sunflowers, they have graduated colors where it's darker in the center than it is on the outside. So we're going to give it a ring here. And this one appears a sideways one, so it's going to be done a little differently. Kind of give it some. But then our black, there we go. We're going to kind of give it, its black center. Yeah, I'm not liking this one either, but it's just what we do. We practice until we find something that we like. And this bottom one's doing good though. And then we'll kind of go around on that. There's a little small raised area here. But that just shows you just another way that you can work with your colored pencils too. But I love the white on the purple though. I love that. That is so cool. So we'll set that, we'll keep that one there. And now for our last one, we are actually going to watercolor. Now, I had this planned to do watercoloring today, but what I didn't have planned was that I couldn't find my water painter. So we're going to do it the old-fashioned way, because I put that on my next order. But anytime you're working with watercoloring, and I'm going to pull out some daffodil yellow, some Cajun craze, I think. Yeah, I think that might be good. Some Cajun craze. So we're going to go with a more contemporary sunflower and maybe some calypso coral, maybe. And of course, where's my mossy meadow? Oh, I already have it out right there. So let's do some water. So we're going to add the water to it. And if you know anything about watercolor, you just want to take and spread some water. Now with the water painter, it's really nice because all you have to do is squeeze. That makes it really cool. And I'm just doing a wash over the whole thing. Making sure I get water over the whole thing here. And watercoloring is so much fun. You may have to add a little bit more water as we go, but let's start with, and I forgot I don't want to do that because I'm going to take, and see I've got some water, some yellow that I've already used here. And added some water in here before. And we're going to take it, just kind of go right over. Oops, I got a hair there. And just kind of drop some color in. And by putting the water on there ahead of time, it's going to help it to spread that. And then let's get these ones that are a little closer on the front here. Okay, I might add some more ink and some more water. There we go. And just kind of get these pulled up here in the middle there. And we'll start down on this bottom one. There we go. So quick and easy and fun and relaxing. That's what I like about watercolor. And let's see, we've kind of got one here. It's kind of facing the other direction, so we just need to get the petals of it. And then, see, we got this one in the corner. Need some more ink. And some more water. So now the yellow's done. And I'm debating on Old Olive. I think we might go with Old Olive instead of the Mossy Meadow. Yep. I always forget. I'm so used to taking the ink and not really. Okay, so let's get some. There we go. Some Old Olive. And we are going to work on these leaves. And there we go. And then as this dries, those cracks and stuff that are in here will become a lot more visible. And then I'm just going to come right along the edge of that petal there. And here's another leaf. Again, just matching up to the edge of the petal next to it. And coming up to the edge of the leaf. This just kind of gives it just that nice, soft, subtle watercolor look. See, let's get in here. And then we've got one here. So what do you guys think? You think you'd like to try the watercoloring? Okay, we're going to change colors one more time. A little bit of Cajun Craze, and I might add some early espresso in there too. Now this one, I'm going to use just a smaller brush. Because I want to just kind of dot that center. And since we've wetted it, you see how that's just kind of spreading? And we're going to come, I'm just dotting it, and it's going right around where it needs to go because it's been wet. I wet it before. And this takes like absolutely no talent whatsoever. So if anybody says I can't watercolor or I can't paint or I'm not crafty, yes, you are. You just haven't been shown how to do it yet. And look how that just really sets that apart. Now let's get some, oops, oopsie. Get Cajun Craze, put it back where it belongs, and I want the early espresso. Again, you know, when you have your, I keep doing that same thing again. I'm not used to using my lids. It's been a while since I did a watercolor class, so put some of that. Still got a little bit of Cajun Craze in there, but that's fine. And see, I didn't put but a very little bit of water in the tray. So we're just going to kind of drab that down in there and drag that through the center and kind of mix it in with the outside a little bit. And then we're going to add just a little touches up here in the top, because we know it doesn't go all the way. Connect those. So how many of you would give this a try? Very nice. Awesome. And so now I thought we'd take and add this. We'll just kind of glue into our card base. So if you know somebody who likes, oh, I know something else we could do too. Let's see here. I think I like that Cajun Craze. But no, we're going to use crushed curry. I'm going to take a little bit of crushed curry. With that thinner brush here. And give our sunflowers some definition. And you see, I'm not being careful about it. I'm just kind of putting it in. But just so it has some little definition to it. Kind of brings out the petals a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Oop, got a little bit more paint here so I can get that. There we go. That looks better. And it was exactly what it needed, I think. And then for our sentiment, why don't we go back to that old olive? And we'll stamp that same sentiment. You're destined for great success. Yep, and look, see, I made a mistake. Just so you see. See on the RE where I got a little too much ink? And I pressed down a little too hard, I believe. Oh, can't use that one because I used that one earlier for the Easter one and didn't use it, so I was going to use it again. You're destined for great things. There we go. Much better. Now let's get some dimensionals. Oops, get that off. So I'll probably use 4 for this one since it's a little hexagon and I don't want it to dip down in the center. Get that. I'm trying to see where should we put it? I think up here? Yeah, I think that looks good. You're destined for great things. So that's just two different ways you could use, the, or three different ways. We did it with the watercolor pencils too. And see my white. And just to kind of, finish this one off. Just kind of just keep going, and that's going to take, I should have done this. I didn't realize it was going to take me a little bit longer. So, but I wanted to kind of give you guys the idea of what it would look like, on a white, with a white pencil, because the white pencil doesn't get used near as often as it could have, or could. But as you could see with the flatness, and you could put in, you see the leaf shape coming out. And it just gives you some crazy textures. And a little artistic flair, just something that's just a little different. It's not the same thing you see all the time. And we could even take, again, I'm just kind of, I wish my brain, I can't find my pencil sharpener either, so that's something. I'll finish this one later, but then I will post these so you guys could see what I mean on how it looks. So with that said, I hope you've enjoyed your time here today and learning how to work with embossing folders, learning how to work with the embossing folders and different ways that you can do that. You could even take a blending brush and pick your favorite color and go over top of the white if you wanted to. And there's so many things you could do with embossing folders. So if you have any questions, just don't hesitate to ask. Please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. And you can do that by just clicking that subscribe button and the bell so that you don't miss any lives. I will be here live again on Saturday at 2. So Saturday at 2 p.m. And then again on Facebook and YouTube both on Saturday at 2, as well as Tuesday is 2. So Simple Card Saturday and Tune In Tuesday at 2 p.m. All right.